let's bring on our special guest, Louis Achaintre of the Frankfurt Galaxy.
Go.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Louis, welcome, brother. We were having some
you.
technical difficulties earlier, but we are very happy to have you on the show here
Thank
today.
you.
And anybody, if you've got questions in the chat, feel free to put them in. Louis, my first question is for you guys is a little bit general question about the Frankfurt Galaxy. Last season was a bit of a disappointment of you guys going 4-8. This is a franchise that has won an ELF championship and has had pretty high expectations. Can you talk to me a little bit about last year? What kind of didn't work? What went wrong? And can you guys learn anything from that?
Of course. I mean, like you said, Galaxy won the first ELF championship. So every year we have high expectation. We are always trying to get to the best. And I mean, it's hard to say what was wrong exactly. We had good roster. We have good everything like organization. As organization, Galaxy is still good, but sometimes it's just like that. Even when you have everything, it's hard to connect everything together. And I think this was the main issue we had. We kind of were sometimes missing the willing to do better or make like the team dominate the other team or something. And I think this was the main problem. Just connect all the guys. Like you could tell, we had a great rosters, but probably hard to connect all together.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the crazy things about football is like you can have such talent on your roster, but you have to get that connection and that team chemistry, which is hard to do, of course, when you have a quarterback change in the middle of the season. Obviously, you guys going from Luke to Matthew McKay, I think right in the middle of the season. That's tough with such a prominent position. But can you talk to me a little bit about Matthew McKay? Because Matt, you and I have talked about, we've both been pretty impressed with McKay at times, maybe a little bit streaky in his first few games, but he's shown a lot of talent. How is he?
So this is the thing. He arrived middle of the season last year, so obviously it's very hard. He had a lot of pressure. We had to play the big games, Rainfire and stuff. So for him was like the same time he has to get involved into playing European football and also just perform. So I think he did pretty good also from where he had to start, and he show how athletic he can be, and he throws some good passes. And I think now we are building the team around him kind of, and this is what a quarterback need, right? So we bring back the guys that have a good bonding with him in offense. We also, like you guys could see, we also build a great O-line for him to give him like all the time he needs, all the block he needs. So I think now he will be able to be like the athlete he is, so run the ball or throw the ball or make the defense has to defend on him, and then we can get some good things out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, go ahead. You got a question?
Yeah, so you've been in the league since the very beginning. You were 21, you were in Berlin, and you went to Frankfurt, and you've been there ever since. You've played with some of the best players that we've ever seen in the ELF. I just want to know your top like 3 to 5 players. You can go any position that you like, but just who are the best players you've ever been able to witness in the ELF? And I'll put you on the spot because I know you'll be friends with a lot of them, and I'll be annoyed that you left out.
A lot of pressure here.
I have to go with Jay Liggins. On the first year he came to Galaxy, he was just, you couldn't say nothing about him. He was just impressive. He shut down everyone, American, European, every receiver, everything. This was very impressive. And he was also doing it with a lot of, he was very nonchalant, He looked like it was just normal for him, but he was, this was impressive. Then I need to give some time to Matt, like I said, Matthew, because he needs to do better. But I would say probably Jacob was very good. He was Jacob Sullivan. He was also able to make the defense from the other team go crazy, because it's at some point he will get the best out of you. He will either throw or run or make something. And I think he's one of them. And for the third one, I would probably pick someone from the first year in Berlin. We had, and now this is hard to choose, but we had, back in the days, we had Stretch, so Shantavius Jones as a receiver, and we had Joe Crawford as a running back. And I have to say they were both very impressive. I mean, big athlete. Shantavius was fucking tall, he could catch everything, and Jock made this like dance in practice. They were both impressive. So I would say I cannot pick 3. I said 4. I could say 5, 6, but yeah, this would be my answer.
Phenomenal.
There we go. And from the chat, from our man, Marcus Kintz, he said, linebackers, both past and present, are the best people. And hey, Louis, I'm a fellow former linebacker as well, inside linebacker. So we love when we get linebackers on the show. My question to you is actually about the linebackers in the ELF. The league has less and less American linebackers. More of this position is being dominated by European players. And actually this year we have basically only one true American inside linebacker with AJ, because the other guys that have been signed are more of edges. What is your opinion on this, on less and less teams going with the American linebacker and being able to fill that role, which is now so dominated by Europeans like yourself?
I think there is multiple reasons for that. The first one is, since you have American and quarterback and receiver, you might need a DB to cover one of them and to be able to match against the quarterback, also throwing the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably also you would need, maybe sometimes if you don't have 2 DBs, you would probably need a good D-line. So if the D-line can put a lot of pressure, then you're also helping the DBs. And then the linebacker, I should probably not say that, but I think when you have great D-line and great DBs, the job is a little bit easier, especially with the D-line. Maybe I'm not going to say the job is going to be easier. I'm just saying we have European guys that are good enough to make it. And I think this is the biggest reason why it's going like this. It's just because we have a lot of good European linebacker, actually, and more and more. And I think this is the reason why you can say I will do without. I mean, AJ Wentland and Dawson were great, I mean, they are great. AJ is still here, but I think at some point you can find a way to replace, because American spot is expensive,
Right. No, I like what you said right there, because I think it does speak to the talent level of European linebackers, Europeans being able to kind of really dominate at that position. And we're seeing that, and I've seen that in my time here in covering the ELF and just being around European football. We're seeing more and more of that. Matt, you got another question?
Absolutely. So you're playing in the West. You've got Paris, which I'm sure will be an interesting game for you as a French player. And then you've also got Stuttgart and Cologne. In terms of how you see those teams going in, who do you think is going to give you the biggest challenge in the West?
I don't want to take any team for... I don't want to say I think this team or this team will be easier, but if I have to pick, I think Stuttgart. I mean, they already went twice to final. They are building through this every year. They're trying to do better, and they are doing better. And I think they will be the team that gives us the most trouble. Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
Cologne will not. I'm not saying Paris will not. I'm just saying.
He has a very angry French fans.
I like that answer. Last question for me, Louis, is Coach Andrus is probably bringing a new life and a new energy to the Frankfurt Galaxy with all of his experience, both in the States and previously in Europe. Can you talk a little bit about him and what he means to the organization of you guys trying to really turn it around from last year?
So basically, you have to say the biggest change, as you would see from the outside, is that we bring, of course, bartenders, and we bring 2 other full-time coaches. So most of them have a lot of experience. They coached in every league in the world or in the US and everything. So I think this is the first change. And then the second change is, if you see it as Galaxy has been doing this kind of the same way forever. So also for the guys, it's like a big change. And then you have to accept it or not. And I think with Bart Andrews, we are on the right way to make this change, because it's easier to follow him. He has this way to talk and to say things, and right now he's really chill. He's just explaining, and then I think this is going to help us a lot to just follow what he say, and like you said, the guys gets new energy and they are buying into it, and they are happy to try something.
We've got a little bit of shit talking coming from the chat from one of our esteemed colleagues, Alex Malchow, who says, Galaxy ain't doing nothing. What do you have to say about this?
I let him talk. We're talking on the field. what should I say? I mean, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna go out there, and then we're just gonna show out people what Galaxy is going to do. And
there we go. There we go. And welcome to the chat, Mal Chow. Euroball Chow. All right, Louis, thank you so much for joining us on the show, man. Really appreciate you coming on here. Excited to watch what you guys do this year in Frankfurt, man.
Thank you very much.